Yo, what's going on, my KD community? This is Sheer. I'm checking in. Tonight is game 3. Absolutely can't wait. You know, the craziness. I didn't get a chance to check in after the game, man. I was just enjoying so much of the content that was being created with everybody responding, reacting to what was the wildness of MSG. So many points I want to make about just where we are in the series and that game alone. So, I'm just dive in and I'm gonna be all over the place. Once again, shout out to you guys. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna be coming with it. It's gonna be a little bit all over the place, so maybe not regular, but ride with me. Here at Knicks Deli, everybody eats. So this is not the typical Knicks Deli where we have the bacon, egg, and cheese and a dollar slice and all that. This is a deli run. We're gonna run in real quick, pick something up, and get on out of town. So that's what we're here to do, man. But Knicks is showing up. The New York Knicks are flipping showing up. I'm here for it, man. The Knicks are showing up. We showing out. All these haters, they can't look. They can't help but acknowledge us. If we talking about the OG bloodline, the orange and blue bloodline, we talking New York Knicks. When we talk about the orange and blue bloodline, we talking Spreewell. We talking about Carmelo Anthony. We talking about John Starks. Jumping up and down like they 19-year-olds, cheering for their favorite team. We talking about that bloodline. We talking about after a hard-fought, gritty victory, you know what I mean? The acknowledgement of the old heads, of the ancestors, saying a job well done to the new Bucks, and that they embodying the type of style and play and heart that the old teams, all the teams in New York are known for, coming out of the Garden. Come on, man. Y'all better talk to me. And the gaze of the world is on Madison Square Garden. So all these people, I can't wait. This is the only time of year, this has been the only period of time where I've looked forward to looking at ESPN and Fox Sports. And I want to see what y'all talking about, because y'all ain't got no choice but to talk about us. And you got no choice but to talk about us in one of two ways, in a positive way or in a doubtful way, but not a negative way. Because you can't speak negatively on the heart that New York Knicks and the team and the organization has shown in putting this team together and putting that effort on the floor. You can't speak negatively about that. You can't. And my prediction is a championship this season. Cats are calling me crazy. I don't care. Call me what you want. But what we're starting to see unfold, I predicted. We're starting to see that injuries makes a difference on all of us. And very early on, people held that against us because we had injuries, and we've been having injuries throughout the season. But the key to our team is similar to Miami. Kudos to Miami. It's how do you play through your injuries? Do you still produce a high level of basketball on the floor no matter who's on the floor? And the New York Knicks have proven that that's what they do. Like Dante DiVincenzo said after that game, this is what we do and this is who we do it for. It's a different type of energy that the New York Knicks are bringing this season. And we've seen that in the games. We ain't always got to be top-notch in what we put out there. We just have to be effective. We have to be effective, and we have to be the last team standing when that final buzzer drops. All of you soft-ass mother flippers, soft A mother flippers. My bad. I'm trying to keep it clean, but I'm passionate about it. All of you soft ones who's talking about Tibbs run the team, all these minutes, all these things. Listen, when you have a long distance runner who train to run miles and miles and miles and miles, when that simple 10,000, or 5 or 10K, marathon comes up, they do it in their sleep. They do it in their sleep. You hear now that most recent poll about the players who, what coaches would you rather play for? And Tibbs was the top coach that nobody wanted to play for. You watch. Let the New York Knicks win that championship. All of those mother flippers who voted are going to be exposed. And they're not going to be exposed because obviously it was an anonymous poll. But what you will find is that they're going to know. You soft mother flipper. You ain't willing to put in the work. And in order to play at this level and to get this type of outcome and result, you need to play for a coach like Tibbs, who's going to push you past what you think your best is. He's going to push you past where you think your best is. But there's a couple of points I just want to bring out about that game. First off, I'm hyped that we're up 2-0. Yeah, Cardiac Knicks are back, but it's a different type of cardiac Knicks. Back in the day when I used to watch the Starks years and any years previous to the arrival of Jalen Brunson, cardiac Knicks meant we had just enough to get to be in the game, but it's almost an expectation that we will find a way to lose it. We will find a way to lose this game. The difference with this team and there being the cardiac Knicks is you stay glued to the TV because the opposite is true. It almost seems as if they will find a way to win the game. That's the cardiac Knicks. Don't leave. Don't turn the channel. Don't think the game is over. They, in some way, shape, or form, will find a way to pull it out. And that's what it is that I love about this team. This is why it's important to go to the playoffs. You know, when KD made that statement about the Knicks not being cool, pretty much the way you get cemented as a team that everybody will want to watch and follow is when they perform in big-time spots on the biggest and brightest stage. And the biggest and brightest stage is the NBA playoffs. That's it. So what the New York Knicks are doing in gritting and grinding out these last 2 wins is they're putting everybody on notice. This is the New York Knicks. This is the team. This is the type of environment that the Madison Square Garden crowd provides. These are what the New York Knicks fans do. You see that even with every victory that a team produces, nobody is as elated as New York fans. Everybody has their eyes on the MSG in New York. They see us spill out into the streets. They think about the traffic and the chaos that's New York City and all the traffic and the cars and all that. But then they see New York Knicks fans stop in the traffic. All that craziness and Knicks fans brings it to a halt. That's what they see. You got to acknowledge us. Since this is the orange and blue bloodline, acknowledge us. And don't try to steal my joint because that's my next t-shirt that's coming out. Orange and blue bloodline. That's what this run is about. The New York Knicks have been masterful in completely flipping the narrative of the team. You know, they've brought old heads back into the fold as opposed to keeping them away. Look across the league, man. Look across the league in these playoffs. You don't see the level of camaraderie amongst the legends like you do for the New York Knicks. They're on the front row. They're cheering and they're gasping with every high and low of the game. The team is not disconnected. Right away they go and embrace the legends. And you could see Carmelo Anthony connects with Jalen Brunson because they both know the weight of carrying the league, the team, and carrying the weight of the city on their shoulders. They both know that struggle. So they're the first that go to each other. And then you have Josh Hart, who goes and Starks embraces him because he knows that he's today's version of him. And then Latrell Sprewell, man, like connects with Josh Hart too. You know, just that tenacity and that fire. Man, it's so crazy right now. And you got to love it as a Knicks fan. We're proving all the doubters wrong. And everybody is starting to slowly come from behind that bush. You know, like the Homer Simpson meme where when this team is winning, he's coming from out of the bushes and out of the woods. But when they lose and they go back, we had a lot of people who was hidden behind the bushes, who are now starting to emerge and come out and fully state with their chest that they're a Knicks fan, that they're a Tom Thibodeau fan. And I love it. I love it. Also, something I want to point out is this. I don't know if many of you have peeped this before. Before the series started, there was a press conference and Tyrese Maxey was at the podium. And they was just talking about how do you prepare for this New York Knicks team and Jalen Brunson on the other side, this, that, and the third. And I have to go find the footage because I know I'm paraphrasing. But I can tell you what I sensed and what I felt during that press conference. There was a question asked about Jalen Brunson and the type of season that he's had. And how do you guard him? And how do you attack him? And the energy that Tyrese Maxey kind of gave off was, you know, Knicks nerves, you know, he's pretty good at drawing stuff up. I think we're going to be ready. And he said it with a smile and a smirk. Almost to the extent of, you know, we got him figured out. So and a tip of the hat to his coach, like, so we gotta. So what I got from it was like a little inside joke, and to their credit, if the inside joke was how they've guarded Brunson over these past 2 games, they had a reason to smirk, because they've done a phenomenal job of figuring him out. And like Brunson said, he's going to have to make the adjustments. He's going to have to figure things out, figure out a way to still be productive and contribute to these wins, as he has. But they have reasons to smirk. But what I also think is, I think they were overconfident. I think they looked at who they have, and this is where they continue to prove that point for me. They continue to say, we got the better team. We have the better team. And it's so crazy, because we used to say that when we used to face the Bulls. And every time we would lose to the Bulls in the 90s, part of what somebody on our team would bring up is, yo, we had the better team. We are the better team. Yeah, you could be the better team, but are you the winning team? And nobody remembers the better team. They remember the winning team. So that sounds so familiar to me, which is why I kind of liken, in a small part, Embiid to Ewing. But that's neither here nor there. And I got clowned for it on Twitter, and rightfully so. But that's the piece. I think they were overconfident. I think Nick Nurse was overconfident. I think he felt like, all right, head of the snake, I found a way to cut him off. It's going to be a cakewalk the rest of the way. But what you underestimate is the fact that there are no lottery picks on our team playing right now. On our roster, the only lottery pick is Julius Randle. Everybody else is outside of the lottery. We're playing with a team of second rounders, a team of overachievers. And we're taking out your 2 all-stars. We're taking out your all NBA players. That's what we're doing. That's what's happening right now. And we have a coach who's out scheming you. You could be a championship coach. Remember, you had Kawhi, though. But also, we have a coach who is a veteran. We have a coach who is veteran and proven. And he's showing you the reason why they used to call you Nick Nurse with a K, K-N-I-C-K, Nick Nurse. They used to call you Tom Thibodeau of the North. And I know you wanted so bad for this matchup. The fact that the New York Knicks was the number 2 seed, in the sense of, we let you get that. We're going to really show you who's the top seed in this playoff matchup when we go head to head. And you're being proven wrong. You're getting beat by a team of role players, your whole squad, and you're getting exposed. So that's another point that I'm hyped about and excited about. Now, Philly's going to come out looking for blood. They're going to come out looking for blood, and they should. They should be a desperate team, because if you go down 3-0 against this Knicks team, the odds aren't in your favor. And clearly, with the way the New York Knicks and their coaching is set up, this team plays all 48. So you know that this team has a killer instinct. So the New York Knicks can't afford to get off to a slow start. They have to withstand the storm that's going to come, withstand the runs, stick to the game plan, and make big plays when needed. They're going to have to do that. Other points, let me see. I'm just loving it. I'm loving the energy of the crowd. Kudos to all of my fellow Knicks fans who can get to the Garden. Kudos to you. It's just fun. It's exciting to watch. I love the effort. I love the fact that there is no quit in us. The team believes that they can win every game. And that's, young fans, you hear us talk about the 90s a lot. And I know y'all get sick and tired of it. But what you're experiencing now is the 90s with a little bit of what you're experiencing right now is how it felt in the 90s. Because I was going to say with a little bit of a step up. And not necessarily because this team doesn't have a Patrick Ewing. But Jalen Brunson is, he's writing his story right now. So hopefully he will be our version of the Patrick Ewing. But the energy and the effort and that production, like all of that, that's exactly That's exactly what we experienced in the 90s. So I'm so happy that you guys have an opportunity to experience it as well. And that we could do it together, the young generation and us old heads from the 90s. I'm loving that piece as well, man. So I love seeing Steph. I love seeing all these cats be part. I love seeing the celebrities. I love the fact now social media allows the celebrities to interact with the fans. I love seeing the content, all of that. So, I mean, it's phenomenal. I do think that Brunson really needs to figure out what is the best way to make his impact on the game. I think that's going to be critical. I'm excited to see what changes take place. I think Embiid is wounded, man. Like he is wounded. I feel bad, and I hope he gets well in terms of his eye and everything that's going on with his eye. I hope that improves. But like those injuries, we have our own injuries to worry about. We got Mitch, who has a little bit of a ankle issue, and we don't know if he's going to be available for the game. So we're just hoping that he's available and can step up. And I don't know, man, but I fully expect us to get this win tonight. I'm confident we're going to get this win tonight. You could hear the crying that's taking place. I laugh because so many people are saying everything that we all know. The New York Knicks are usually at the losing end of that type of shot that happened in the Garden, of those type of calls that are made by the refs, and it's like, and it's not, it's just different. We talk about the basketball gods, now they are allowing us, and listen, if we talking basketball gods and spirituality, the Lord helps those who help themselves. We're helping ourselves. And when you do that, you work hard and you play into the final whistle, then luck is on your side. President Trump had this saying before he was President Trump. He was Donald Trump. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Which is why I'm like, all of those people who talk about they don't want to play for Tibbs, we don't want you here either. We don't want you here either. It was critical that Tibbs got a player who really, really believes and has the same philosophy as he does. And all of their best friends have that same philosophy. Which is why I'm out on a idea of bringing in a Booker or a Donovan Mitchell. Because we're going to see who on our team is going to reveal themselves as long-term pieces. Will we bring back Hartenstein? I believe so, yes. Will Dante DiVincenzo become a star? I made a video about that this season. I believe so. I believe last night or that previous game night was the first step. I think he has big shots, all big shot moments in his future. So y'all got, come on, man. We in, we up, we winning, we here, all of that. My heart just goes out to Julius, man, because I know he's looking at it like there's so much that's taking place and he's not part of it. But he's absolutely responsible for getting us here. Getting us to this point where we've completely turned around the organization and getting us to this point in the playoffs. So I really, truly hope that he knows that he's a part of this and fans recognize and appreciate all of his contributions to it as well. But for tonight, I'm expecting it to be a hostile environment. I'm just hoping that we don't get sidetracked. Last game, one other thing I want to point out, Maxey was kicking out behind. Maxey was going off. And Twitter started to rumble about the Maxey game. All of the Philly fans was talking about, Maxey having a flu game. Listen, we cut all that out. And that's a difference maker because players make their names in the Garden in big wins. And Maxey was 5 seconds away. Maxey was 5 seconds away from making a name for himself at Madison Square Garden. The media was waiting for him. The media was waiting for him to crumble the Knicks so they could put a crown on him as the next best star. And we squashed that moment. And I loved it. We squashed that moment. Y'all got to realize the magnitude of that. They were ready to crown him as the next guard in the East that was going to be a superstar. Had he pulled that off, having had the flu, according to them, and to get a win that they needed in the playoffs to tie it up 1-1, and the New York Knicks squashed it. I'm telling you, something special is happening in the Garden. Something special is happening in the Garden. They can't figure out how we're doing it. And that's when you got a team, almost a team of destiny. So what say you? I'm going to stop here because I got so much more, but I don't have my outline. I'm not at my desk. Look, keep this in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. But remember this, whether it's out here in the YouTube streets or here in Knicks Deli, everybody eats. Let's get this win tonight. Peace.